Hi guys, Karis here, and this is just a quick video to talk to you about the monthly magic book club and how it's going. So we just started our first book today, March 1st, 2014, and it is Winged Pharaoh by Joan Grant. And this book is about a priest pharaoh who is a woman in ancient Egypt. And I really love it. I've read it several times, and the way that we're reading it is from the first part of the new moon, which was today, actually early this morning, to the first quarter moon, which is going to be on March the 8th. We're reading the first two parts of the book, so it's about 90 pages. And it's amazing, and so I just wanted to share with you guys a couple of my favorite parts so far. This is mostly for the Facebook group doing the monthly magic book club. I will put the link in the info section for this video so you can know where to go if you want to join. You don't have to join. It is free, as I said in a previous video about this particular project. I'll be posting from time to time about the book to interact with those of you in the book club, and also to maybe give some of y'all on YouTube who are wanting fun things to read, some info about some books you might not have heard of. So there are two things that stood out to me today when I started this book because, like I said, I really love this book, and I have read it before. It's been a little while, and every time I read it I get something new. But I wanted to read a couple passages to you guys. One of them is on the first page of the book. It's actually page 3. Chapter 1 is called Into Exile, and it begins with a conversation that the author has with the beings that watch over incarnation on Earth, and they kind of tell her what's going to happen and who she's going to incarnate with and what some of her missions are going to be. But the part I wanted to read to you is about the beautiful romance between her mother and her father, because I don't know, I just love it. I can't even exactly say why. Something about the combination of spirituality and earthly love that they talk about here. And I'll just read it to you because it's beautiful. And like I said, Winged Pharaoh, Joan Grant. I do not own the copyright to this book or anything at all. I don't even know who publishes it. They have no idea I'm doing this book club. So there is no kind of kickbacks. This is no advertisement. It's just me sharing some awesomeness with you because I think it's great. Okay, here's the passage. While my mother still sheltered me with her body, so her mom was pregnant, my father sought to find a gift that would tell her of the love that filled his heart. He could not tell her of his love in words, for words are but the fleeting shadows of reality. Carvers in turquoise nor workers in gold or ivory could please him with their finest craftsmanship. One day, as he was walking in the gardens of the palace in the cool of the evening, he thought of making a garden for my mother, a garden such as had never been seen before. Only by this could he symbolize his love, for nothing can be greater than its creator. And though a carving may be a song in stone, it is born of the sculptor, but the plants of the earth are the children of the gods. And so, in a curve like the young moon, he planted trees to shade her from the sun at noonday, and bushes with aromatic leaves to spice the air for her refreshment. And for the bowstring of this living bow, there was the lapping water of the lake, which stretched its silver to the setting sun, a minty in the west. Then he mustered a host of grassy spears, which closed their ranks to make the smooth green lawns, and he starred them with little flowers, scarlet and yellow, violet, blue, and white, which grew to make a carpet for her feet. From lands beyond the boundaries of calm, that's what they called Egypt in this book, he brought the scarlet lilies of the land of gold, and trumpet vines that grow far to the south, where men walk in their own shadow, and from the north he summoned lemon trees, white oleanders, and anemones, and flowers that keep their perfume for the moon, to fill the dusk with their drowsy sweetness, and honeysuckle entwined arbida flowers, and the blue convolvulus to make her wreaths. That one was hard. When I was 12 days old, my father for the first time took her to this garden that he had made for her. It was surrounded by a garden wall, and upon the lintel of the door of cedar wood were carved their names, Za-Atet and Merinesut, the beloved of Pharaoh's heart. Together they went into the flowering shade, where the paths were secret as gazelle tracks through the reeds. When she reached the heart of the green quiet and saw a garden more beautiful than any she had dreamed, she said that here the petals of the flowers were as though the clouds of sunset had been carved in blossoms by the sun god Ra, who upon the earth could never before have found such pleasure for his rays. And both agreed that it must have pleased the god to see his children here so glorified. So they named this place Sekhet Ara, the meadow of Ra, and to me they also gave this name. So that's her introduction as to who she is, and I love it. I just love it. I love the way that she writes too, the author of this book. And this is apparently a past life memory that she had, and she just wrote it down. She wrote several books, but this was the first one, I believe. Okay, so the second passage I'd like to read you guys is about when this girl was about, I think, 7 or 8, and she got in an argument with one of her attendants, and he was also a little boy. She had a lion cub, and her attendants were instructed to not let the lion cub out of the enclosure for the lions, and he had previously been sleeping in her room. So she came to get the lion, and the boy guarding the enclosure would not let her take him out, and so there was a whip laying there, and she just beat him with the whip because she was so angry. She said that nothing existed for her except for her anger and the whip and him and the cuts, the lashes that the whip was making on his face and shoulders. And I love it because so honest about how things feel. And so she went to her father and told him what had happened, because he summoned her because he'd heard about it. And this is what he told her. And this is what I love about these books, is that in them, the rulers are not just rulers because they were born rulers or because of some random superstition. They're taught to be whole and balanced, and that's how this goes in this reality that the book is written in, right? So, here we go. Zeb is the name of the boy that she lashed, and her father's the Pharaoh. I explained to my father that I had lashed Zeb unthinkingly because I was so angry that I could think of nothing except that he stood in my way. It was when I was walking with him by the marsh. Shamba, his favorite lioness, who was more clever than any hunting dog, was with us. My father said, "Sakita," that's their nickname for her, "your temper should be controlled by your will, as Shamba is controlled by mine. Trained anger, like a trained lion, is a faithful protector and a powerful weapon. With controlled anger, a man can smite a wrongdoer as though he lashed him with a flail. And the fear of such anger is a protection for the weak, against those who might hurt them if they did not fear it, just as no one would dare attack a month-old child if it were under Shamba's protection. But he whose temper is unmastered is like a child that is chained to a maddened he-goat. He must follow where it leads, through village middens and through swamps, and even into a cage of wild leopards that would tear them both to pieces. And so, Sakita, remember, anger beneath your will is a flail in your hand, but uncontrolled anger is a lash upon your shoulders." So, as you can see, this is an amazing book. Lots of activations. I would highly recommend it. Here's a view again. All of the editions don't look like this, but this is the most common one I've seen, and I love it. So anyway, I hope you're all well. Remember to set your intentions for March. I have found this new moon to be a particularly challenging one, but full of really interesting magic and really beautiful experiences as well. So anyway, go in peace. Again, I'll put the link for the book club in the info section for this video, and also there are some upcoming events on my website that I will put up for you guys. And other than that, I hope you're all well, and I will speak to you again very soon.